Oh yeah.
Live
Okay.
from the apocalypse, this is State of the Game. My name is Dano. I am your host. What you need to know about me is that once a year, I overdose on cranberry juice and drink a ton of cranberry juice, and I don't know why, and I can't stop. It's once a year. It's a lost weekend to cranberry juice. That's who I am. And I am your primary narrator. My co-host who joins me every week, Kay, feel free to comment on this episode with which Abbott Elementary character you think Kay is. Uh, you know,
I know which one, but I'd be interested to hear what people say. I know which one I am.
but yes, thank you for being here, Kay. I appreciate you always. You know, this thing has been amazing. Like um, and I was laughing all this week. I started this little blog 11 years ago, 12 years ago, and now I get to talk to someone who, in my mind, like if our guest had only made one song, Honey Dove, he would be worthy of a wax statue at that point. Dove is that great a song. But done even more than that, our guest is not just a Hall of Famer in music from the 60s till now, but someone that is in a very exclusive club of musicians that have made my wife, while driving, look at the stereo and yell at the song.
Mm.
And that's a very exclusive club. Jay-Z, Lee Fields, it's a short list.
Now that's an exclusive club, no doubt about it.
And I can tell you,
I never heard it put that way before. You put it in a way where if I really try to say what you said, it would take me at least an hour and a half to just through the first 5 or 6 words. You know what I'm trying to say? This is deep, man. We're dealing on something deep tonight.
I'm ready. So I was going to say, Lee, and the song that I was talking about is because my favorite concert that I've ever been to in my life was Sharon Jones came to Maine, right? Sharon Jones is a big part of my listening life. And your song, Stranded in Your Love, with her, had my wife yelling at the stereo, "Don't let him in! Don't let him in!" It was great. So that song is just such a fixture for us.
Well, that song, when Sharon and I did that song, and actually, we were really living the song. I mean, to me, in my mind at that time, I was actually locked out. I was actually trying to get in. So when the song ended, both of us, we laughed because it was so real. It was, what we try to do with soul music, we try to, whatever the song is, we try to be the character in the song. We're like vocal actors. You know what I'm saying? So at that moment, when Sharon wouldn't let me in, I was really, really emotionally hurt and scarred. I was scarred until this very day. Until this very day, I truly feel the scarring of that particular song because it was so real. When the song was over, both of us, we just laughed and just said, "Oh man, that was good. That was good." And I'm happy that people are responding to the record. And I'm happy that people are still recalling that record because that's what art is all about. Making something that's going to be a reoccurrence in your life. You know what I'm saying? If an artist, if a person consider themselves an artist and not able to make a product that resound in a person's and other people's minds, then the job wasn't well done. So I take that as a compliment. That was deep on it.
Amen.
It's real. Like a friend of mine told me, great soul music is something you just know. It hits you, right? I think the point he was trying to make was that great soul music freezes you in time a little bit. You know?
Well,
Holds you.
Great soul music are capsules of time. In other words, it captures the moment. It captures that moment, and that moment remains in a state of permanent existence. You know, so that's what artists are really supposed to do. We're supposed to make songs, or if you are a painter, if you are a sculpture, regardless what form of art that you are the artist of, you're supposed to capture time. Artists like a time capture, a capsule.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're someone who's definitely stopped time a number of times. I was thinking about because I was going through all of your albums. I mean, Kay, we're talking to somebody who, when I was in high school, made an elite concept song about losing a lottery ticket. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah.
You're talking about the song. Yeah. You're talking about Dreaming Big Time.
Yeah.
You're talking about Dreaming Big Time, where the person had a dream that they won the lottery and went in and told the boss off.
Yes, and then it's a great song.
How did a song like that come to be?
Well, in art, a person have to use their imagination. So I figure like it's possible for a person to get so lost in it. Hey, when I was a kid, I used to dream about different things, and I would wake up in the morning and look for it. You know what I'm saying? So what we are now as adults, we're only just big kids. We're just big kids. We're kids that the game has changed in a various ways. Certain things we dismiss as being just pretending, just make believe. Because when you're a kid, there's no make believe. Make believe is real. You know, you're talking to the characters that might be your friends.
Lee, your audio's gotten real low.
Yeah, in your imagination, that character is more realistic. When you're a kid, you can almost touch it. And as we go over and realize that this is kids stuff. But we are only big kids. So every now and then we dream about different things that are not actually true, and we believe different things that are not actually true. So in this case, this guy actually believed the dream was so real. He actually believed that he hit the lottery. So he told his boss off.
It's incredible.
And that's the reason why when we grow up, we have to man up. We have to put away childish things.
Yeah.
Man, getting good to me. This is getting good to me, man. But in that song, man, the guy actually believes he hit the lottery, or she hit the lottery. It could be male or female. So they told the boss off. But but we know what the outcome of it was. We don't have to use our imagination for that, because we know, in reality, you tell your boss off, man, regardless what you were dreaming. Subsequently, the reality is going to say that you don't have a job. So now
Right.
you're a creative maker yourself. So that's what that song was all about. I was just, just fooling around having a good time, because I think when artists have a good time with their music, the music touches people.
100%. Some of the best work anybody does is loose, having fun.
But the new stuff,
Yeah.
This stuff I'm doing with Gabriel Roth today.
Oh,
This
man.
stuff I'm doing with Gabriel Roth today on Dap Tone record is no joke.
No
I
joke.
mean, although the songs written, and so the songs are not necessarily true, but we use our imagination to try to create an album that would give a person a journey, a real journey, a real mental journey. All of the hurt that I'm singing about, all of the joy that I'm singing about, like the 2 jobs, for instance, working 2 jobs, or Sentimental Fool. All of this would give the person an incentive on having an adventure without even leaving their home. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to the songs. Man,
and when you say
had a
new
good
stuff,
time.
you mean what's it?
I had such a good time. I might start singing some of it for you right now.
Do it.
I'm in such a good mood.
Please do.
But Sentimental Fool. Oh, that's all you're gonna get.
That's a teaser. That's a teaser.
Yeah, and let's just be clear, like the new when you say new.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. I was gonna say when you say new stuff, you mean you're talking about your new album, Sentimental Fool, just in case.
The new album.
Yes.
Sentimental Fool, absolutely. And
the new album is.
What?
Say that again.
Sentimental Fool, the new album, and Gabriel Roth helped you, and great. What I wanted to talk to you about, what struck me about the album is I'm kind of used to music now being fast, right? Hi-hats and sped up samples. And there's some moments on this album where I was like, man, this is the slowest, most prettiest music this year. Like, Just Give Me Your Time is like that. Extraordinary Man is like that, where I was like, this is, I don't know if I'm trained to listen to music at this speed anymore.
Well, what we try to do with this album, we try to make it as real as possible. Gabriel gave me all of the the signals to do what I wanted to do vocally, to express myself in whatever way I felt was necessary to deliver the song. He gave me free reign to just roll with it. So what we try to do with Sentimental Fool, with 2 jobs, with Loving You Forever, we try to give the world exactly the emotions, the true emotion that I feel. And judging by the way the audiences are responding to it was more, it was greater than what we even expected.
Oh, wow. So you are seeing a big response on this, and people are excited, which is great.
They are excited. The rooms are full. Gabe is happy, and I'm happy, and I'm just having the greatest time. Even this Thanksgiving weekend, matter of fact, I'm not home now. I'm at my sister-in-law house, and a lot of family is here today, and we are having a great. We're getting ready to have a great time tomorrow. But it's just been magnificent. It's just been magnificent. It's been more, to be frank with you, it's more than I expected. I mean, to see the response that's coming in in on this record. And when I sing the song, to see the look in the public eyes and they're singing along with me, man. Let me tell you something. If I had a microphone and had one, I just only need one musician with me, I'll sing that song right now for you. That's those songs. I sing those songs right now because I love this album. I love this album. I love this album just like it's my child. Just like it's my child. And you know how you love it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. Hey, your audio cut down a little bit. What are you? Your audio was a little low.
Okay.
Okay. Back up.
Can you
back
hear
up.
now?
Yep, it's back up. I think it's phone positioning. I think it's phone. Get it out. But so yeah, I would say it's Sentimental Fool is really beautiful, and it's really kind of a dedication to. It seems to me a dedication to the fact that you've dedicated your life to talking about love, and that this is an album that is acknowledging that, like, this is my life's work, understanding love.
Yeah. And that's true. And that's true. And the main thing about the record, listen to the song, listen to the craft that Gabe put his heart into writing. I didn't write this album. Gabe wrote this album. You can tell it came from his heart and soul.
Yeah, he's going through.
When I saw the lyrics, man, I just melted away. Melted away with Sentimental Fool. Like, nobody want to call themselves a fool. Nobody want to call themselves a fool. Everybody like to look at themselves as being pretty much on top of things and pretty much caught it before it,
right.
Fool. The word fool could be used. But let me tell you something. There's a many of great men out here today. Many of highly intellectual men with so much intelligence that I couldn't find words to describe, have ended up realizing that they were a fool. And if you have never been a fool, if you live long enough, you're going to do some foolish things.
Yeah.
And hopefully you do it while you're young. Because there's no fool like an old fool. You don't want to be an old fool.
That's for real. That's real shit. That is yeah.
Excuse me. Let me get this last burster of laughter out. Because if you keep a laugh inside of you too long, it'll hurt you.
That's
fair.
You
got to laugh out.
That's fair. So in terms of sequencing the album, because I'm really interested in the sequencing and like the changes in tempo from What Did I Do, to Ordinary Lives, the album moves in a really interesting way. Did Gabriel organize that, or did you two together?
Oh, it was Gabriel. It was Gabriel, no doubt. Because Gabriel been telling me for the last 20 years that he wanted to record me. And things never worked out until as of late. And I realized he knows me. Sometimes I kind of ponder whether he know me better than I know myself.
The art, yeah, you as the artist, yeah.
I think my creative energies better than I know myself.
Yep.
The man said, "Listen, sing it just like you mean it." And I said to myself, I said, "What do you mean sing it like I mean it?" And all of a sudden, I start looking at these words, and I imagine myself in a situation that these words would be of necessary, be of necessity. And all of a sudden, he said, "Take a listen to this." I couldn't believe that we had cut a song with this much emotion. Thanks to Gabriel Rock. Thanks to that man. So I'm happy. I think as of now, I'm totally elated, more so than I've been in quite some time. Because he pulled it out. You know what the man did? He pulled it out of me. The man reached down in me and pulled it out.
Absolutely.
Pulled it out of me.
I mean, that, and
and it hurt too.
I believe it. No, this is, and I love the cover. The cover is a perfect encapsulation of what this album is, right? It's really organized. It's really smooth. It's really together. This is like one of your most cohesive albums front to back.
Yeah, I think so too. You know what he did? He said, Lee, we need to get something organic. We want your suit to be matching the background. We want it to be like, not necessarily like the beginning, like the primitive form of something. And he reached down and I tell you, the man is a genius. The man is a genius. And I think all of the forces that have joined us together, because I think we have merged. The merger of Gabriel and I is going to be something to be reckoned with. I can feel that.
Right, because I think Gabriel understands you've always been a forceful performer, right? Like you can go on YouTube and find clips of you singing your face off, right? And that's real. Like this, Gabriel being able to move that momentum in certain places is an incredible thing, you know? Yeah.
But it is, because I think in many of cases where individuals are looking for themselves, sometimes we have to look to others and take others' advice. You know, you have these prima donna guys or prima donna artists that think that they know everything. But sometimes you have to realize that other people know something too. You know, one person don't know everything. So sometimes it's good to just listen a little bit. And that's what I did on this album. I decided to listen. And the result of the album, man, I'm so happy that I took the time to listen to somebody else. You know, we all like to think we know everything. We all like, you know, everybody like to think that, you know, I got this. You heard people say a minute time, I got this. I got this. But let me tell you something. Sometimes the better of things will happen if we just sit down and just listen to others. And that's what I did. I listened to the man. People got to listen to people sometimes. And I'm so happy that I did, because look what's happening. All of these people were going crazy over the album, man. I'm so happy. Oh, man. Let me find something to dry my eyes. Hold on. Oh man. Y'all
so
about to get me choked up here.
It's so much harder to get inspired and to move creative directions, new creative directions when you're alone, right? It's so much harder.
I thought so. I thought when I'm alone, I can get everything that I need. But you know, I'm gonna tell you something. I learned the hard way. Everybody needs somebody sometime. Now, for those that don't believe it, if you live long enough, you're gonna find out. You're gonna need somebody sometime. And I find with the new album being this great, I needed someone to just listen to for a moment and take some other people's advice. Although I've made some albums that people are saying that are good, but this album seems to me, from the reaction that we're getting now, is the best album that I ever made. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yep. It is a beautiful thing. It is up there. I mean, I have a soft spot for It Rains Love. It Rains Love just permeates my thoughts when I think of you. But this is kind of a beautiful bookend to that album, right? If you look at the cover of It Rains, it's you in the gemstones and like I'm the soul music bazooka. I'm going to mow the stage down. And Sentimental Fool is you with the hand in the pocket, like we're switching gears, you know?
Real... And it's a beautiful thing when people merge together and listen to each other. What Gabe and I did, we actually listened to each other. And his all of the things he suggested, and I think it brought out the best in me. I truly believe so, and I think it's going to make me a better artist, because listening to others and using the energy of other minds can only make things better. You know, one mind is good, but when you listen to others and come as one, and come as one in concert with what the object of what we're trying to achieve, I think it make it better, because I'm so happy and so proud of this album. And I just pray that people just take the time and just take a moment and just listen. Just listen and see to you, like it was a song, I think it's a Christmas song. Do you hear what I hear? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep favorite. The spirit of Christmas.
Well,
oh man, you guys have made me so happy this time. Y'all have made me so happy this Thanksgiving. I know. After this interview, I know my turkey is gonna taste much better tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. This is a great way to.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. And I would say, because of how much you invest in each song, personally, emotionally, you have a different connection with your audience than a lot of artists. How would you describe the connection your music has and you have with your audience?
Well, with my audience, what connects me with my audience is soul to soul. We go, when I come out on stage, I try to connect with my audience spiritually. We got to realize we are spirit creatures. All of us are spirit creatures, and we are joined in spirit. When we communicate, spirits are connected. So when I come out and I connect with my audience spiritually, and what happens is everything began to escalate into a more beautiful experience. And at the end of the show, man, everybody is totally on another level of consciousness. That's the way I feel. I hope my audience feels the same way. We're on another level of consciousness to a degree where we're so elated, we're so happy. The only thing we feel is joy, just joy. And once that takes place, the began to relive what they have experienced. Because I do, when I walk off the stage, I begin to relive in my mind what I have experienced, and it's words that there's no words to describe the feeling that we get. It's like euphoria. We go to a point of where everybody's just totally happy for, and to be happy for a moment is better than not being happy at all. You know what I'm saying? So every night, man, it's like a wonderful, wonderful experience.
That was beautiful. Yeah, it must be like being the head of a congregation in a way.
Yeah, well, I think you hit it right on the head, and I think that would put it most in its proper perspective, because I do consider myself a person of the spirit, because I'm a soul man. And soul is of the spirit. You know, I just don't take singing soul as just a word, singing soul, or as a certain way of singing. I think singing soul is when you're coming from the spirit. It's when you're coming from a place that lies within every conscious human being that believe that we have purpose on this earth. And that all of the religious are necessary for us to remain civil human beings. You know, we obey these rules. I'm a biblical guy. I believe that the Bible is true. And for those that believe in other religions, if you believe that there's purpose, that there is a creator, because I think God is all in all. It's all of the religions in one. And but that being said, when I come on stage and that transpires, the energy transpires is all come from a divine source. Because I believe love is the answer. My true belief is love is truly the answer. And I think love is God. That being said, all of us, regardless how we worship, how we pray, if we believe that love is the essence of our purpose, then we all are doing the right thing. But as we look deeper and deeper, we'll find the channels to lead us even deeper into even more of a direct way of a divine deliverance of what we should and should be. That being said, of course, we're connected spiritually. So when I see the people out in the audience jumping and happy, it's not just because they in the listening to the music of the band or listening to me. It's because we are the oracle at that moment. We are the oracle that delivers from the source that of goodness, and people feel that goodness, and they feel that raw goodness. That's the reason why they participate the way they do. And I'm so happy with the way things are going now. And your interview tonight lift me high, because you're taking your time interviewing little old me, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative.
I mean,
so appreciative.
It's the other way around. You've been in my life for years and years and years, and this is an amazing thing that I get to. But it was I wanted to talk to you about Daptone Records. You mentioned Daptone Records and how and their effect a little bit. How do you feel that Daptone Records and their movement affected your career, and affected how people heard you?
I think the way Daptone Records have moved through the years is accurate with what is supposed to be happening. I think everything is working just like it's supposed to work. Everything is working. Everything is coming full circle. And that being said, I think for whatever purpose the music will give, I think it would be only good. It would be only good. It would make people feel good, and it would make people think in a positive fashion, because we don't just put lyrics in songs. We just don't put lyrics in songs that for the purpose of just selling records. We put lyrics in songs that has some sort of benefit, have some sort of the brain, just like the body, requires vitamins and different things to continue being a working, viable body. The mind needs viable information flowing through it so it will function correctly. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of things in the world today that is happening today negative ways because of things that have been put into it, that we carefully think out the words, and the words are our product. We don't want to put bad product in people's heads. We want to put something that can be beneficial, something that makes sense.
Right.
And how can you tell when something makes sense? When it produces positive outcome. If the person having their head produces negative outcome, apparently their mind is full of things that doesn't make a good energy for our thinking process. So we try to make sure that we put quality words, quality thought in our product. So when people listen to it and let themselves be involved in the song, they end up in a positive, beautiful state of mind. You know, I do believe that words has consequences.
Oh yeah.
The things that we listen to have consequences on a person's behavior. So we try to sing things that make a person think, rationalize, think in a positive fashion, you know? And I just don't sing anything. You know, you just can't give me a song and say, sing the song. I'm not, you know, that's because I'm concerned about, it's like, this is like you concerned about what goes in your body, your physical body, to make your body healthy. I'm concerned about words that I write or sing that people's gonna hear. I want to leave people in a positive state of mind. So if you listen to my product, listen to Daptone product. Now the songs might be about something that you might not agree with, but listen to the product, all of the words that we choose. We try to choose the best words that we can, because a human being is comprised of two entities. You have the physical body, and then you have the mental makeup of the person. Mm-hmm. So therefore, the same way people take vitamins and stuff for the physical body, I think the mind also needs positive and information that will enhance our thoughts. So therefore, that I'm very proud of my product. I'm very proud of my product.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, Daptone seems to have understood what was magical about the music that inspired them, and instead of recreating it, they reached out to important people who were maybe not getting enough spotlight, who had always been great, and gave them another shot with a full ticket behind them, right? Charles Bradley.
I couldn't have said it better. You said it just right. Just right.
Yeah. So I think that's what always stuck out to me. What happens most times is someone who grew up on that music understands it, reinterprets it, and kind of does their version of it, makes their money, walks away, feels good, gets in a commercial. Yeah. You know? But this they kind of reinvested in the culture.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. They did, and as I said, I like what Daptone is doing because they're taking their music very serious. They're not just putting out anything just to sell, just hoping to sell. They putting out things that they feel proud of, and honored that people lacking their product because they feel very proud of their product, and I feel the same way. And I'm hoping that this trend catches on, and because I do believe that with making better products, and it won't change the money flow as far as the superstars are concerned. They'll still be selling just as much records, just as many, but the product itself will be a better product because we should all be trying to reach for a better and a more efficient product. I think that's what the whole game is about, and opposed to just selling you anything that I can sell you just for monetary profit. But I like what I like about Daptone Records. Daptone has a bar of what they consider. We're not going to go less than this bar, and the bar is set very high.
Yep. Yeah. No, that makes sense. You know, when you were talking about your words and the importance of your words, it feeds into a question that I have, right? So one of my favorite things about this music, right, is how beautiful and game-changing the covers are, right? Bill Withers' version of "Let It Be," right, or all the Carpenter songs that the Isley Brothers redid, right? Incredible, incredible. And you have an incredible version of "The World Is Empty Without You." That is beautiful. You were talking about how important your words are. How is it? How do you go about selecting a song that you actually want to cover and make your version of?
Well, the song, first of all, the words, I listen to the words of the song. Because as I said, I do believe words have, being an artist for all of these years, I do believe that what we say have consequences. What we say. And I think that's the big topic of the day and social media and everything. What we say, we just can't say anything. We just can't say anything that just because freedom of speech. But if we say, all things, like the Bible says, all things are allowed, but all things are not good for us. So we should be responsible. It's just like driving a car. I just can't I think I drive on the left-hand side, although I'm not in England now. I'm going to drive on the left-hand side of the United States because I can do this, and I'm allowed to do this because I have freedom of where I want to drive. If I want to drive my car into a building, I can because I have freedom to do that. But if everyone thought that way, if we're not congruent with what is good for all of us, then eventually that will grow as just like a cancer. And you find all kinds of people just making all kinds of records that would be totally absurd. People putting all kinds of stuff in medicines because they can, and they can make more money. And all of a sudden, everything will be totally corrupt. The object of the game is trying to be as less corrupt in our songs and music and every other thing as we can be, so we can make better products. we got to realize the word the word if we're going to falsify things, if we're going to make things that's not what they are, then that's the first step. That's the first step to corruption. That's the first step to corruption. Because corruption itself is, I would bet you the first step, the first word to the first meaning of corruption is changing the language. Changing the language. And I would bet if the etymology of that word corrupt would be changing the language. That's the first step to corruption. Because if you change in the language, then all the structures change. Everything changes. Instead of living in a civilized world, let's keep this life experience as close as we can to what it was intended to be. And I do believe that we are intended to be a greater civilization, be a higher civilization. Although I'm a blues singer, I'm a soul singer, and I'm not a classical singer, but still, if I stay true to what I am, I'm taking the bar higher. So that being said, I think everyone, regardless what their job is on this planet, should do the same. But I'm not a person I'm not a lawmaker, anything. So the only thing I can do is do the best I can. So I think the best I can do musically wise have been done with the new album from Daptone Records, Sentimental Fool. Now right back to Sentimental Fool. Oh man, let me just contain myself with this burst of laughter. But it was so good. It was so good to me, man. It was good all down to my toes. Now,
Kay, how did you feel about Sentimental Fool? Listening to it, how have you lived with it?
I mean, it reminded me a lot of Usher had a record back in 2003, Confessions, that was like really huge. And the reason it was huge is because people, like the line between reality and fiction was blurred. Like people were hearing the songs and they were like, wow, it's like, did this really happen? Like, did he really go through it? Yeah. And so when I heard this record, like the whole time I was thinking, like, to me it was a concept record, because to me it sounded like the album of like a breakup. Like whoever wrote the album, like I'm thinking at the time when I was listening, whoever wrote this album was going through a breakup, had just gone through a relationship or whatever or something, and this album was like a catharsis for them, like getting all of that emotion out. So I mean, I think he did a really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that you didn't write it and you were just singing it lets me know, like, I mean, that's incredible to me. But nonetheless, like, I think you did a great job of, I mean, because everyone's gone through that story. I mean, everyone's been that sentimental fool in one way or another. Like, if you've loved, you've been a fool. Like, that's just how it's gone. So I think that really resonated. And then, like, the second thing that I really observed is, like, so I went back and I listened to Let's Talk It Over. That came out.
I love Let's Talk It Over. Yep.
And I was just, I was amazed, like, Just Talk It Over was more free-flowing, was 52 minutes. It really contrasted with how tight this album really was.
Yep.
And how tight and efficient and clean it was. And I think that just shows the power of, and I think this is the problem in R&B and just music in general now in today's times. We don't really have those strong producers anymore who are able to look at an artist and say, you know, this is the best version of who I think you are. And this is what I want to present to you. So if you trust me as a producer, I can present the best version of who I see you as.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
And I think he did, the producer that did this album and wrote from Depth did a great, phenomenal job. And that's why it's resonated with so many people and so many different audiences and crowds.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. So, as I said in the beginning, when Gabe and I hooked up, he had a vision. And I said to myself, I'm just going to, this man has been so adamant through the years of wanting to produce me. I'm just going to see what he has in store, you know? So I'm just going to just go along with what he says. And that's what I did. And I thank Gabe. Gabe, if you're listening to this interview, thank you. Because everything since the moment that the record was released, amazing things has been happening and continues to happen, and I'm so happy and thank you.
Yeah, no, it's I remember thinking, Kay, when I was listening to this, because you know me, I'm always making album of the year lists and I'm always analyzing the zeitgeist, and I listened to this album and I was like, I'm just so happy we have this as Lee Fields. Like, it's not an album of the year album; it's an album of the career album. It's that pulls together a life.
Absolutely,
and I can agree with that totally. I feel the same way, and I'm just like with this album, I'm just like a child on Christmas Day, you know, opening up his presents, you know, I'm a little kid, man. I feel like a little kid that looked under the Christmas tree and look at all of these presents that I have. Look at all of these presents that, you know, I have, and I'm so happy. That's the way I feel.
It makes sense. Yeah. It's beautiful. And so we talked about you've dedicated yourself to the exploration of love in your music. How has that changed you personally in your life? Walking that journey creatively.
Well, I try to be the person. When people see me and they see Lee, they see the real guy. I'm not, you know, I don't believe in being phony. I don't believe in being, you know, what you see, like Flip Wilson used to say, what you see is what you get. I'm real. I'm the guy that you see. I'm not, you know, I'm not pretending. The songs that I sing is what I feel, and what you see, man. You know, I'm not pretending because I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not. So when people get my album, they're getting me. They're getting Lee Fields, the faithful man.
That's it. No, and there's equal parts kind of gratitude and tragedy in a lot of your music, right? Grateful for moments with people you cared about and sad of them, right? Faithful Man is an incredible song because it is like it is pleading to the person to not bring you out of your character by tempting you out of your character. So the whole point is, I'm barely a faithful man right now. Please help me stay that.
Yeah, I agree. You know, in other words, like, regardless who we are, regardless what post we hold in life, the temptations are out there. They was out there from the beginning, and they're gonna be out here. But you try to do the right thing. And for those that slip, what you do, you try to do better. You try to do better than that. You said, I'm not going to do this again. You know, you try to, in other words, we should strive to try to do the right thing. We only human. So to be human is the error. So that being said, we try to do the best we can. That's the motivation of the whole life a story, is to try to do the best you can. Don't just say, well, I'm this and I can't do any better, and I'm just gonna just go lower and lower and lower. If you error, pick yourself up and say, listen, I'm gonna try to do better. I can be better than this. I can do better. We got to always try to do better, not to just say, well, I can't do better, so I'm just gonna go to fall as low as I can fall. You know, do the whole purpose of mankind has no purpose. We are to become better human beings, better individuals. We're to try to uplift ourselves, although no one is perfect, you know? And so that's the whole theme of my whole purpose out there. It's just to sing songs about the person that's struggling, trying to be better. You know, some people satisfied, I would assume, judging by what they see of being whatever they end up being in regard to on accord with the purpose of trying to make better. And but I'm ill and hopefully will be until I expire to try to be a better human being.
Right.
So even though a person make a mistake, that don't mean that you are a bad human being. That means that you made an error, acknowledge the error, and say, "Listen, I'm gonna do better." You know, that's the whole thing. My music, everything. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah. No, and I think, Kay, like the secret sauce in Lee Fields, right, is you got to mean it, right?
Yeah.
That connection to the song.
You got to have a meaning. I mean, life would be useless. We would just like any other creature on earth if we didn't have purpose of meaning.
I mean, it's enlightening to me that the story that you told at the beginning with you and Sharon singing that song, like I feel like that's kind of missing in today's modern music. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of artists, you know, there are a lot of songs being made, but artists don't feel that connection with the material that they're making. There's like a difference between the artist and what they're making.
I agree totally. I'm in total agreement. That's the reason why I'm going to continue as long as I sing. Is to strive for and to put in my music trials and tribulations in life, but we're always trying to do better. I'm not going to accept that that's the way it is, and I'm just this and I'm just that. I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to try to be better. That I think if everybody take that attitude, we'll make a better world and make a better a future for our progeny, and they would have a chance. But if everybody just say, well, listen, man, I'm just down, I'm just this, I'm just that, and just accept that, and we're going in the opposite direction. We're not trying to uplift expectations. We're trying to lower. I'm saying I think the uplift expectations is the purpose of the human race. Quality. We just want to be more quality. We want more quality. We don't want just to throw anything in there to sell a record. I mean, I can think of a lot of things that I believe that would sell a lot of records. That's totally nonsense. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm not going to do that. I mean, because like you hear some companies say we stand by our product. I stand by my product. My product is it's as quality as I can get it. You know, and if a person doesn't like blues or don't like soul music, then apparently like some people don't like this. Well, I respect that, but at least my product for what it is going to be the best that I can make it. Right. I think if everybody took that attitude, I think the world will be contributing to the world headed in the right direction, and opposed to just saying, well, okay, I'm just going to just say anything just to sell some records. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
And Kay, I think what we hear a lot now, like let's say artist A drops an amazing album, right? Everybody loves it. Artist A follows it up with an album, and when they drop it, everyone kind of feels that it's not there. And what they're feeling is the absence of that investment, right? That the first album they put their heart into, right? And you could feel their personality because they were invested in it. The next album, they put 50% of that. It's hard.
Well, people can tell. I mean, the whole thing is we should try to do better. From kindergarten, we are taught to do better. You make a lower grade, you try to do better. And that's what we should keep it as. We shouldn't sink lower for the purpose of that we feel like that's what they like today. We shouldn't go by what we think that they like if it's taking us in a negative direction. Artists should have some responsibilities to make quality product. And for those individuals that make product that taking things in a negative direction, I'm quite sure there's some consequences down the line. They might not be in this world, but it will be somewhere down the line, because the world wouldn't be here like it is if there was no barometer to tell us what is good and what is bad. When we lose sight of what is good and what is bad, that's when we have lost our souls and everything else. And the only thing to expect then is just total chaos. But if we keep the barometer of what is quality, you do things as best as you can. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to write, and I'm not trying to put my music higher than anybody else. But I try to make the best music that I can. So, I'm not, and whatever people make, man, they make, but I do believe the whole system of recording and all of this are for some kind of a purpose. And we as human beings should have the instinct to know, hold on, man, we should know what is good.
Right.
And we should, if we don't know what is good and what is bad, we have lost our sense of directions. So we're just floating out in the abyss, and we're just like jettisoned from our soul become as particles and jettisons from the body that we once were, the person that we once were, and in the sea of total bliss, and we lose ourselves. So much jettison we release. After a while, we're no longer us. We become just whatever it is. So as long as if we were trying to maintain ourselves and stay who we are, and take this higher, we have to be conscious of that. So that's what I think Gabe did in the new album, Sentimental Fool. He's capturing all of these emotions. He's man, the guy's brilliant. The guy's brilliant, man. I would advise anybody that listening to this conversation just to take the album and just listen to it. Gabriel Roth is a genius. The man is a genius. And I'm just so happy to be a part of his works. I'm just so happy to be a part of it. It makes me feel good. Talking about, you probably can tell, talking about this album, talking about, you see how elated,
I see it.
energized I become just talking
absolutely.
about it.
I see it. So
listen, my battery is about to go, and I don't want to just fade up. We can talk until it just disappears, but it's blanking, and it's about to fade out on me.
Let's say goodbye, Lee. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Okay,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking time to speak with us. I learned a lot just by, like you said, just by listening.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
You guys take care.
You as well, sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we still got to do recommendation corner. I'm still excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of listening.
Take care.
You too. Have a good holiday.
Likewise.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So, that was amazing. That was
incredible.
That was like riding a tiger through a jungle or something. It was amazing. So recommendation corner. Because I'm telling you, this album has been totally just blowing me away. Like, it is, I'm with it all the time now. It's called An Orange Colored Day, and it's by an artist named Arima Idira.
Arima, what's the last name?
Idira, Edirra.
Okay, where's she from?
Well, so she's the firstborn daughter of Ethiopian refugees. But I think she grew up in Atlanta, maybe moved to Vegas.
Okay.
She was in the back of an Ethiopian Orthodox church in Las Vegas, where she was raised. So but
fascinating. Okay.
Incredible. It's an incredible grouping of sounds, like just beautiful. It's almost like I was thinking of. It's kind of like albums like this pop out of nowhere, and it's like, it's like bumping into a firefly. It's beautiful. So I'm absolutely loving it, and especially if anybody wants to test it out, go to that 3-4-5 run. Beautiful.
What's the name of it one more time?
An Orange Colored Day.
Orange Colored Day. Okay.
Got a 7.4 in Pitchfork, so it is my kind of album. But I love the sevens, the Pitchfork sevens. I love that album. It's been really sticking with me. The other one, I gotta go with, you remember Televangel's album with AJ Suede, right?
Yeah.
That's cute. Televangel has another album with a rapper called Milk, MILC. And it's called Neutral Milk Hotel. And it's just, the production, it might be even better than Metatron's Cube. I love the production on this album. It's just beautiful. Like in a different way. Not beautiful. The album Orange Colored Day is beautiful, like beautiful, right? The Neutral Milk Hotel is nasty hip hop shit.
Okay.
So, and FC and Zilla have a song together on it, which is great. Turbulence. Sleep Sinatra's on it. AJ Suede's on it twice. Yeah. Killer album. Everybody should check it out. Yeah. What an interview that was. That was a good
phenomenal, man. Just soulful. So there's really I mean, it really emphasized to me like the difference in, you know, how the industry is like evolving, you know? And that's why it's important, like the metaphor I think of is, you know, like your NBA draft pick, it's important what team you get drafted to.
Right.
And you know, because each team has its own different culture, its different nuances, new ways that it operates in the field. And I think that Lee, you know, finding Daptones as a home,
Yeah,
you know, is the best thing that could have happened for both parties.
I just kept thinking during the interview, because Akai Solo did a great interview with Rohan on Rap Music Plug podcast
Mm-hmm.
about his wonderful new album, Spirit Roaming. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things he said in that interview was that, like, willpower and will itself should be considered more of like a central force of the universe, like an acknowledged thing, you know? And I was thinking of like the will that League Fields has exerted to be able to make music professionally from the 60s to today.
Yeah. 40 years. No,
and
over 40. What, if the first album came out 69, so that what is that, the 70s, 80s, 90s, 10s, 20s. Oh, okay, so about 40-ish years, 40 odd years, 4 decades.
I mean, and so he has singles that came out in the 60s, I think. Like, I
Right.
think before, like, he's been around forever. And like when I said this is like the album of your career, you know,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, yeah, of course, you know, like it's such a wild thing to be like, yeah, I'm at the peak right now. Like,
I mean, I mean, I think people are really. I can see why this album has really resonated with people, because, I mean, we're yearning. There's so much, like he said, and I like that that he referred to albums as products, because that is a way, you know, when you're like, as you and I are consumers of it, but he's actually producing albums, like making and like recording the material. So he would view it almost as product. You know, there's so much product out now. Like, there's so many albums every Friday. There's 20 albums that are released looking and begging for our attention. And I think people are just really yearning for a good meal. Something satisfying. And I think that album really is a very satiating, satisfying meal.
Yeah, 100% with you. I appreciate it for anyone who was invested in it. I did best K's fantasy basketball team.
He did,
and I'm very, very proud of
that. It's been a rough quarter season so far. So
a lot of it. But yeah, what an incredible time. And the other thing I was gonna say is the cheat codes episode that we did with Zilla and John Morrison.
mm-hmm.
Just hit free space. A lot of people listen to it for the first time and are hitting me back, and it's like, oh, I disagreed so much with everything, but it was a great episode. I love that shit.
That's beautiful. Shit. Absolutely. That's what we want. We're not here to get our opinions out. We're just here to start a discourse. I think, you know, that's the best thing you can do.
From my perspective, right? Because I was telling people, like, I showed up to the Zoom, the only one who loved the album, right? And like, and so I jumped in, and I'm like, great album, right? And everybody's like, eh. But it doesn't matter if they agree with what I say. These are incredibly intelligent people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm listening. I want to understand.
Right.
I want to take their opinions into account, because it's not bozo opinions. This is like,
respect it, right?
Interviewed Black Thought. Like, let's get at it, you know? So yeah, incredible experience, and you know, it's yeah, there's stuff in there that's stuck in my head for listening to that album for the rest of it. So that's the beauty of doing this. But yeah. Thank you, Atlanta, for everything you've done.
Absolutely.
What?